أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد سيد البشر وآله وصحبه وسلم أجمعين ومن والاه. Firstly, this is simply a video to explain my book, which is called The Quran versus the People, Al-Quran Yatahadda An-Nas, because of a couple of events that happened to me anyway, asking about the Quran itself. Imagine that. Today, that there are a lot of people out there who are making money off the Quran by giving false information or even good information, but they're using this good information to make money for themselves. To start with, these are videos not to be taken by any person for their own gain. It's simply video for information purposes. It's just like you want to know what the Jews believe in, you want to know what the Christians believe in, you'll have to give a chance to the Quran al-Kareem and what it's all about and what's the fuss is all about anyway. So I came up with this book. It took me about 5 years to put together. It wasn't easy because there's a lot of noise out there, and there's something I've discovered. 90% chance of anyone who actually goes anywhere in this world and picks up a book, you're picking up a Salafi book or a Wahhabi book, and 90% of the chance you are not taught Islam the Isnad way. And the Isnad, there's 4 A'imma that you'll have to go back to, which is basically, you've got Sayyidina, everybody knows Sayyidina Anas bin Malik, Al-Maliki, Al-Shafi'i, Al-Hanafi, and Sayyidina Ahmad bin Hanbal. Today we only have 73 denominations of Muslims in this world, as Rasulullah ﷺ has said, and people tend to ignore that. They say, nah, all Muslims are the same. No, not all Muslims are the same. They're all Muslims, but they're not Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. You'll have to understand this. Not everybody is Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Shia is not Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. And recently they had a mu'tamar and said that the Wahhabi is not Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, Al-Khawarij is not Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, Daesh is not Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. There's a lot of people, Zaydi, even previously during Al-Asr Al-Abbasi, there were Al-Mu'tazila not Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. There you go. Al-Jahmiyyah not Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. There's a lot of Al-Khawarij not Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. So you have to actually understand, they're not all Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. The 1.6 billion Muslims in this world are Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Now these videos are for those who only want to find out information. For those who do not want to find information, you can actually log on to something else. The other thing I want to say is, if you're a Muslim and you came across my video, I'm either dead, Rahmatullah ala al-Muslimin, or you are very old, man. You have just exerted yourself in watching videos and whatever on the internet, and then at the end you said, Yallah, let's check out the Quran before you. This is dunya, unfortunately. Nobody starts their life jumping straight away. Let's learn the Quran. Nobody does that anymore. They all, once they exert all their life, they find out that, Yallah, let's make something for our akhirah. Be careful, there's adab al-qabr. You have to really understand that. To start with, if you buy the book, I'm trying to give it for free. It's on Amazon. It's sold for $50. If it were وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ سَبِّ الرَّسُولُ وشتم الإسلام وشتم النبي وشتم القرآن, it would have been sold for $10 and it would have made millions of dollars. But because this is actually telling you the face of the Quran itself and what it is $50 to get it in Australia. Yes, salam. So it's not easy to buy that book. Download it for $4. Read it. If you do not like it, just get rid of it. It's up to you. Wallahi al-Azim, it's up to you. And the other thing, do not like my videos, please. Listen, share, delete. Thank you very much. There's a lot of people out there who tell, please share, please. They're making money. Remember, dunya has 2 ways. You go against the Quran, you become rich, but you have adab al-qabr. Good luck with that. The second thing is, go with the Quran, nobody wants to hear you, but you can mislead a lot of children, a lot of Muslims. This is what's happening. So today we have Islam al-Khanu', where people, Islam is the religion of peace. Islam is the religion of peace. Is Islam only the religion of peace? I didn't say that Islam is religion of peace only. Islam is Sharia, Deen wa Dawla. Islam Sakina. Islam answered a lot of questions in this world. It's answered millions of questions, and then people would go, oh, scientifically, Islam, Al Quran answered this and that, and the next thing, the fetus, the embryo, the whatever. Dude, if you go to the pyramids and you find, for example, a papyrus that dates back to more than 4,000 years old, and it shows you the stages of the fetus, unborn baby. Does this negate the Quran as miracles? No. Al-Quran mu'jiz bidatih. Mu'jiz bidatih means on its own. On its own. That's it. It doesn't need you to go and start crunching some numbers to say, it's mu'jiz. How is that, dude? And there's other Muslims who really drive me nuts. When they hear a white man went into Islam, oh, Islam, Iman. Do you really need someone to enter Islam so that you can feel Islam is right? You're amazing, man. Some people really are amazing. How did I start this book? That's the question. I had two friends. One is a total Salafi, Takfiri. God knows where the hell he came from. I think from Mars. Every time you say, even if you say a Shafi'i, he will say, Kafir, mulhid, mushrik billah, anta mushrik billah. And if you mention any of the a'imma, anta mushrik. He is so Wahhabi and so Salafi that he has, these are Wulat al-Hanabila. He has takfir for also the people of Najd. Dude, Najd, your family, man. What is wrong with you? Nah, they're kafir also. Okay, never mind. And the other one is mulhid, an atheist. I've never seen such an atheist ever in my life. You say Allah 3 times in front of in his face, he will fall, he will faint. He will faint. You really need to call an ambulance for that guy. He fainted. What did you do? I called Allah 3 times, man. I said Allahu Akbar 3 times. He fainted. Both of them put a question for me, and both of them said, do you believe that the Quran is the word of God? I said, yeah, I've always believed that the Quran is the word of God. It's the hadith that we were misled about all the time. We were never taught that Rasulullah ﷺ is divine. إنما هو وحي يوحى. We were never taught that. So he goes, the mulhid, the atheist, he goes, you're saying this because you've been brought up believing it's the word of God. Imagine, the 1.6 billion Muslims out there also believe in the same thing. Why? Because they do not know why, but they only simply follow. Now I asked the Salafi dude, who's takfiri, you know. He agreed. He agreed with the mulhid and said, yes, you fellas are Muslims without understanding. However, we as in Salafi, we understand Islam more than you. Okay, yes, ma'am. So I'm kafir. Okay. Mushrik. No, you're not mushrik, but you're going there, he said. Okay. Allahu al-musta'an. Allahu al-musta'an. After all this, I didn't know where to get the books from. It was very hard to get books, by the way. It cost me about $5,000 to get books. Why? There's a 90% chance if you pick up any book, as I said, from any library, the book is Wahhabi. The book is either retranslated by the Neo-Western Salaf. This is a new term. Neo-Western Salaf are those people who go and learn Salafi and they come back and they have, I don't think so. It is not this way, it is this way. So they want to change it to their own Salaf, to their understanding. And there is the Neo-Western Muslim. Neo-Western Muslim are people I met all throughout my life. You think they're Muslims, but they're not. The first one I met actually was in Malaysia. When we were doing the Shahada, he didn't stick his finger out. And I said, why didn't you? He said, it's distraction. I don't think so that we have to stick and say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. We can do it without. We can do a lot of things without. We can also not even read the Fatiha. You just stay like that. Samitan. I said, where did you get all this from? Which Imam? He said, I do not follow any Imam. I follow myself and instinct. Imagine, the Romans, all Europeans are Romans. They have their own way in understanding Islam. very own way in understanding Islam. Yes, salam. So he wants to teach me Islam. Yes, now we're getting a lot of those people actually avalanched into the Gulfin areas, and they can't go to Al Azhar al Sharif. I've discovered that Al Azhar al Sharif is the only institution in the world that you have to actually follow. I've discovered that we were actually, when we were taught Islam, we were discouraged from listening to Al Azhar. Why? Because they are from Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah and holding on to Isnad to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Other than all this, you need to make your own research. You'll have to ask yourself one question. You have been a Muslim all throughout these years. Why do you need someone else to tell you what your Islam is? That's the question. Why are we too busy looking for fatwas on the internet? Why are we going to a mosque that's been opened by a guy and his family as an enterprise, collecting all the money in the world to buy his new Mercedes? There's a Urdu Imam. You know what's an Urdu Imam? He learns Urdu from his father, he learns Arabic from his books, and then he learns all the Sharia in English. And he has never been to Pakistan, he's never been to the actual upbringing, he's never been to a university of Sharia in Pakistan. Pakistan is huge when it comes to actually people studying Sharia. None of those people that you meet over here in Melbourne or Sydney or maybe in the US who have actually been there. The same thing, you'll never find an Azhari, because now the whole world is fighting Al-Azhari. Why are they fighting Al-Azhari? They're fighting Al-Azhari because they do not want you to learn the real Islam. That's how it is. Our Islam now is basically imported by those people who think that they know Islam better than us. I'll never forget the contribution that my family actually had given me and sent me the books and all this. I'll never forget that I was looking for a job in Amman. My father only had 4 dinars in his pocket and he bought me Sahih al-Bukhari. I've been dying to buy Sahih al-Bukhari in one volume. Sahih al-Bukhari, that's available. Over here it costs you about $100. In Amman, Jordan, it's about $6. And we were both looking for a job, by the way. I'll never forget also what my dad used to say, "Kun ma'allah wa la tubali." I'll never forget what my mom used to say, that you believe in what you believe in, write, even if those people are actually objecting, you will have to keep on writing. I do not actually forget all of those Muslims who actually helped me, regardless of what denominations they are. I used to ask Shia, I used to ask Al-Ahbash, I used to ask Al-Salaf, I used to ask Al-Wahhabis, I used to ask everybody. And everybody used to give me an opinion. At the very end of the day, I used to make my own opinion and look for actual dalil. You'll have to find the dalil. And those dalil, it was very hard to come across of a book. For example, Sayyidina Muhammad Abu Zahra, the very well-known Imam. This fella, because he wrote, rahimahullah, about Al-Wahhabiyya, his books won't be found in Saudi Arabia, won't be found even in the Gulf states. There is a lot of let's say discord amongst the Muslims. There's no unity, and there will never be unity actually, because everybody has an opinion and everybody thinks that they actually have this opinion. And as I said, these videos are not for those who do not believe in Sayyidina Rasulullah. If you do not believe in Rasulullah, اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه ومن والاه ومن لم يوالي هذا الرسول فيخرج أو يصمت. In English we say, well, you either shut up and listen to this, and if you don't want to listen to it, you just leave, man, get out of here. This is not for you. You might be offended, because in Islam there's a lot of things that actually offend you, just like the non-Muslim text will offend Muslims. For example, we're offended that Sayyidina Yeshua al-Masih, Isa ibn Maryam, أيدناه بروح القدس. It's always أيدناه بروح القدس. He's not the son of God. So if you feel offended about that, this video is not yours. And we do, yes, believe in Sayyidina Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم is actually خاتم الأنبياء والمرسلين وأنه وحي يوحى. End of story. At the very end, you'll have to remember that when you read the Quran, there's a huge difference between reading the Quran and you go for hifz al-Quran. It's totally different. When you go to become hafiz, you will see a different door in the Quran. And when you just read it face value, it's a different door. Those people who actually read it translated, well, good luck with that. At the very end, ختاما, اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم أجمعين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم أجمعين. And you have to remember that when I started this book, I remembered only one ayah in Surah Al-Kahf, and at the very end of the Surah Al-Kahf, and that is قل إنما أنا بشر مثلكم يوحى إلي إنما إلهكم إله واحد فمن كان يرجو لقاء ربه فليعمل عملا صالحا ولا يشرك بعبادة ربه أحدا. صدق الله العظيم. It is very important to remember to actually do something absolutely that is genuinely worth something to meet your creator. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله في نعمته.